Hey there you guys, welcome back. Today we are going to divide this banana tree. This is a dwarf banana, not quite sure the variety. It's always just called banana in my area and doesn't give you any more information than that. So I assume it's a dwarf Cavendish banana, but assumptions, not so great. But it looks like everybody else's dwarf Cavendish and it's a very popular variety, so I have a feeling that's what it is. It never gets very big, it only gets to be about 4, maybe 5 feet tall. It's not a super dwarf variety, but still small nonetheless. So anyway, we're going to take this particular one off, and I'm going to give it to a friend. I don't really need to do that right now, because they're all kind of small, but he wants one, so let's do it. I'll show you what we're going to use today. I've got the banana, need that for sure, and I've got a pot that we're going to pot the baby up in, and then I've got a variety of knives, because sometimes with bananas, and I'll show you when we get in there, sometimes if there's no roots developed on the baby, the offset, sometimes you need to cut a little bit of the corm off to allow it to get some energy so it will produce roots itself. And then last but not least, we have soil, and in here I have pre-mixed some slow-release fertilizer. I've showed you in the past. This time I'm using the Miracle Grow 10-10-10. Excuse me. But you can use whatever you want to use. I like putting the slow-release fertilizer in, as well as feed regularly to my banana, because when bananas are actively growing, they are heavy feeders. They require so much food. So they're very greedy. So anyway, let's get to it. I'll bring you down a little bit closer and we'll get a close-up of the pot. Okay, so here we are. You can see the babies here. This baby is, I think it's adequate size. It's probably about 12 inches tall to the top of the leaf from the base of the plant. And I'm just going to, oh, and we've also got a couple more babies here too. I've got one right here by my finger, and then there's one just growing right here. Bananas tend to really sucker very freely, which is a good thing and it's a bad thing. So I'm just going to lay it on its side. We're going to remove some of the soil here, being a little bit gentle, but you don't need to be crazy gentle. Any roots you destroy will regrow. What we're doing is we're going to see where this banana joins the mother plant, and let's hope that there's some roots already attached, because that makes it super easy, and you're going to know for sure that the plant is going to survive. Bananas have really thick root systems. It's pretty amazing. Such hardy plants. Actually, this one has roots developing already. Let me see if I can bring this up a little bit closer. Are you able to see? This is the base of the plant, and here's some roots developing out the sides. Very nice, strong, healthy roots. So all we're going to need to do, we won't even need the knives, I don't think. We're just going to carefully bend this back. Very carefully. You're going to hear a couple of snaps. Just going to pull it away from the mother plant. There we go. There we go. Here we go. There we go. Look at all the beautiful roots on this plant. This one will have no problem surviving all on its own. So we'll move the parent plant out of the way. We're just going to pot this back up in soil, back into its original container. I don't need to upsize this pot. It probably would like it if I did, but this 12-inch pot is more than adequate for this banana. I'm not looking for it to grow to be substantial size. I just want to keep it around. So I will pot it back up, and we'll be right back, and we'll pot this one up. So now here we have the baby banana. Wow, that looks nice. That is a really nice little baby banana. And we've got a nice sized pot. This pot is, I don't know, it's probably about a 6-inch pot, but it's a nice deep pot. This will be good enough for this banana for, I don't know, I'm going to say about a month, and then my friend will have to repot it into a bigger pot. So what we're going to do, usually I line with paper towel, but I don't have any paper towel with me at the moment, so we're just going to put some soil in there. Just going to put a few inches of soil in. This is a seed starter mix, so it's a very light mix, and it's got a lot of perlite in it, which is okay. It's not a bad mix. Bananas really like a really organic, like a very nutrient-rich soil. So this will need to be fed regularly with this mix. So we're just going to pop it in, and I'm making sure that the soil level is going to be about the same. This, where it's red here, I want to cover that with soil, and then from the white that starts here, I want to have that exposed. So it's going to be about an inch under the soil surface. I make this look so easy because it is. We're going to try to center this into the pot. Bananas are very forgiving. You just want to make sure that your banana is big enough to divide. I checked this a couple of weeks ago just to see if there was any root development. I didn't see any or notice any root development, so I paused and I just waited an extra couple of weeks. And when your bananas get to be a decent size, they naturally produce their roots. But again, if it doesn't have a big root system, you can always take a little bit of the corm. I wish I was able to do that today, but there was no need. So we've added some soil around the base, and we're filling this pot up, leaving about an inch of space at the top of the pot. You always want to leave a little bit of space at the top of your pot, because when you water, you want to make sure that the water doesn't just run out. And so now we're going to water this in. Again, there's slow release fertilizer in here, so we don't need to feed it at the moment. Just going to use the hose, and we're going to water it in thoroughly. I'll water it in a few times. Bananas like to be constantly damp or moist in the summertime when they're actively growing, but if you bring them inside for the winter, you want to make sure that they dry out slightly between waterings. A lot of my friends who grow some of the bananas that I've given them bring them in over the winter, but they get rot because inside it's a very shady environment. Unless you have a greenhouse or a conservatory, bananas are going to slow down in the house. They're not going to grow nearly as quickly, and that means that they don't need nearly as much water. Outside, they'll grow very, very fast. They'll grow a new leaf every week. At this size, actually, it'll grow a new leaf every couple of days in a nice warm environment. But when it gets really, really big, a leaf a week is fairly common. And you'll come out and you'll see that they've grown about 6 inches or 12 inches of a leaf every day. So it's very, very amazing to watch them grow. And because they grow so quickly, they need a lot of water. So keep that in mind. If your plant isn't actively growing, you're not going to want to water it nearly as much. But if it is growing crazy, crazy strong and vigorous, it'll probably require a little bit more water to allow for the growth to occur. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. It was a rather simple one, but we all have our bananas. Well, not all of us, but many of us grow bananas, and dividing them is a natural thing. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed. So please join me on the Plants and Things What's Growing page. It's a great place to just hang out and enjoy some photos and some good conversation. And yeah, happy growing, everyone. Disease and all that other stuff. So another one that I wanted to show you is the Dracula Vampira. What is this one? This is the one that I got from Brad. Thank you so much, Brad, if you're watching this video. It is doing magnificent.